Hey guys, today we're going to continue with dilations and we're going to look into some other problems with them. So we're going to start off by dilating this triangle given to us. We have triangle MLN and we are dilated by a scale factor of 3/2 or 3/2. By looking at this scale factor, you should be able to figure out or expect if it's going to be a reduction or an enlargement just based upon what K is. So for this one, we should be expecting it, since it's greater than 1, to be an enlargement. Remember, when K is greater than 1, 3/2 is like 1.5, it's larger than 1, so whatever we have should be getting larger. And for this one, instead of having a coordinate plane, we're given the coordinates just listed. So we don't have to list them for ourselves, they're given to us like this. And we just want to find the final coordinates here. So if we're changing by a scale factor of 3/2, K equals 3/2, that means everything's going to get multiplied by 3/2. So let's start with M. M prime, we're going to do 0 times 3/2. Well, 0 times anything is 0. And then we're going to do 2 times 3/2. So if we need a little help or a reminder doing this, 2 times 3/2, I'm going to write 2 as 2/1. You multiply straight across, and you would end up with 6/2, which equals 3. If you know how to cancel as you go, you can say that, well, there's a 2 on top, 2 on the bottom, you're multiplying. Those are going to cancel, or 2 divided by 2 is 1. You'll still end up with a just 3. So we're going to have, comma 3. L prime, well, we have another 2, so 2 times 3/2. That's going to get us the same 3 again. And 4 times 3/2, 4 times 3/2. Again, I'm going to make it 4/1. I like to cancel, I think it's easier. So 4 cancels to 2, 2 comes 1, 2 times 3 is 6. So you're going to end up with a 6 here. And with N prime, you're going to have another 4, so there's a 6 again. And 0, it's going to be 0. For this particular scale factor, 3/2 is 1.5. So you're taking 1.5. So half of 2 is 1. So you take 2, and that extra 1, that gets you 3. You can kind of think of it like that. But here's our final coordinates for this image. Notice how everything got larger. It should be an enlargement. We're going to do a couple of word problems with these. So our first word problem, it says, Blake wants to reduce the size of a photo from an 8 by 12 inch photo to a 2 by 3 inch photo. What scale factor must she dilate by to achieve this? So I like to draw a little quick picture. Blake has an 8 by 12 photo. Actually, I'll put the 12 over here. And she wants to reduce and end at a 2 by 3 inch photo. So we're going to start here, we're going to finish here. In terms of the images, this would be your pre-image. It's where you're starting at, and this would be your final image. So I'll just write image. When you're trying to find a scale factor of like what scale factor took place, so now you're not given the scale factor, you're looking for what K is. What you can do is you can take your pre-image and your image and you can divide to find the scale factor. But you need to see what corresponds with each other first. So the longest side on the pre-image, that's going to correspond with the longest side on the image. So 12 will go with 3 and the 8 will go with 2. And how you find out the scale factor is you take your final image, so I'm going to put K equals, you're going to take the image and you're going to divide by the pre-image. And it has to be 2 sides that correspond. So you can either say 3, and 3 went with the 12, so 3 divided by 12, which equals, when you simplify, 1/4. Or if you use the 2, you would have to match the 2 up with the 8. So 2 divided by 8, when you reduce that, you get 1/4. So that means your scale factor, or Blake's scale factor, would have to be 1/4 to reduce the 12 by 8 to a 3 by 2. And if you were to multiply 12 by 1/4, you get the 3. If you multiply 8 by 1/4, you get the 2. So this is your scale factor to get Blake's photo down to a 2 by 3 inch. Let's try another one. In our next one, we have Ethan, and he wants to enlarge a photo from 3 by 5 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a little photo in here. 3 by 5 inch. And he wants to enlarge it. So we don't know what the K is. But he wants it to become a 7.5. This is not to scale. But he wants it to become 7.5 by 12.5. And we want to figure out what was the scale factor to get from this image to this one. And let's go ahead. Like I said before, your scale factor is going to be the image where you ended at divided by where you started at. And that's going to be the scale factor to go from that first image to the final image. So let's see what matches up. Well, the largest, the 12.5, is going to match up with the 5, and the 7.5 would match up with the 3. So you can choose either or. If I do the 12.5 though, then I have to go with 5 in the denominator. If you wanted to do the 7.5, then you'd have to have 3 in the denominator. You can simplify either one. If you're having a little trouble, you can use a calculator. But for this one, we should end up with 2.5. So our scale factor for this, 2.5. So to enlarge to this size, he would have to make everything 2.5 times larger. And this is how you can use scale factors to enlarge something or reduce something. A lot of times scale factors come up with like scale models and maps where you have a certain scale that you're looking at. Like with a map, it might say 1 inch represents like 5 miles, something like that. And that's using the scale factor to take something really big and making it smaller so you can still look at it. So these do come up a lot in everyday use. Maps, scale models, things like that, blueprints. Alright, that's all we have for the day, so have a nice day, guys.